My friends, my name is Kaylin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am challenging myself to read a series in a week, and it's a bit of a challenge for me. The series in question is the Cruel Prince trilogy. Now, my journey with the Cruel Prince trilogy is I have actually already read these, but I listened to them on Audible years ago. Like when The Wicked King was coming out is when I got into this series. So I have read them pretty much on release day except for The Cruel Prince. So it's been a while because this came out 4 years ago. So it's been 4 years since I've even entered this world, and I forget what happens. And Holly Black came out with the companion series for this series, and it is said it's best to go into that companion series with a fresh mind of what happened in this trilogy. So that's what we're doing, and I'm very curious to see if I can do it. So we better get to reading. Hi guys, it is currently Sunday. It is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to any of you out there. I have made some progress in The Cruel Prince. Because I listened to these books on Audible years ago, I still have the audiobook, and I'm like, cool, because that means that I can listen to this while I'm doing stuff around the house and while I'm at work. Oh, thank you, Kaylin, for listening to them on Audible years ago. But I am now on chapter 15, 142 pages into this book, and I forgot how good this book is, like how good this world is. Like this world I would love to see come to life on screen, but only done by someone who knows fantasy. So like Max, I feel like they would do a stellar job, or the people who made Narnia, I feel like would do a really good job with this world. But it's so whimsical, and I forgot that the Fae that are in here are portrayed as like actually how they're supposed to be portrayed. Not like the Fae as in like Akatar Fae. These are like very mean Fae. They're mean, and I forgot how mean Carden is, and I forget how much bullying Jude deals with, and it breaks my heart for her. So let me back up and tell you what this book is about in case you aren't aware. So in this book you are following Jude and her sisters who got carried away to the Fae world when they were younger because her mom was married to a king or a high lord in the Fae realm, and she ran away when she was pregnant with Jude's older sister Vivian, and they've been in hiding for almost 10 years, and then Vivian's dad finds them and comes and kills the mom and their father, Jude's father. And so he whisks them away to the fairyland. They've been living in the Fae realm for 10 years, I think now, or maybe a little over 10 years. I can't remember. I don't think they've actually said how long they've been living in the Fae realm, but long enough that they are like, that's what they're used to. They're used to that world. And Jude and Taryn are twins, and they go to lessons with the other Fae kids their age. And in that, they go to school with Prince Carden, who's just very mean. His whole little group is set on bullying Jude and her sister, mainly Jude though, and they like have it out for Jude. And so Jude wants to compete in this tournament to be a knight, and their father, like adopted father, was like, no, I forbid you to be a knight. You can compete, but I forbid you to be it. So after the tournament, along comes Prince Dane, who is going to be the next like high lord of this world, and says, I need you to be a part of my court and be one of my spies, because you can lie, because fairies can't lie, but humans can lie, and I need you a part of it. So she agrees, and now she's a part of the Court of Shadows, and then she gets a part of his little like spy gang. I don't know what they're called, but you meet Bomb, the Ghost, Roach, and I think that's all you meet. And she's not a part of that world, and it gives her like a purpose. She feels like she has a purpose, and it's so nice because for the longest time, you know, she's been bullied by Carter, and she feels like, why, what is the point of me being here? Like, I don't really understand why me. Like, I understand they hate humans and all this, but like, I haven't done anything wrong. And she feels like her whole life is pointless and what she's doing is pointless. And then to be a part of this group, she feels like, oh, I finally have a place where I belong, and these fairies are nice to me and want to include me in stuff and not make fun of me and not belittle me and not bully me. And she just, you know, has a moment. So I am really liking it. I love the world and just like how magical it feels, and it's truly truly a book you can get lost in. So I don't know how much I'm gonna read today because like I said, it is Father's Day. I'm about to head to my parents' house and I would say I would read outside, but it's supposed to be over 90 degrees today and I don't really want to sit outside in that. So unless I'm by a pool, but since I'm leaving my house, I won't be by a pool. But maybe I'll read a little, I don't know, we'll see. But I will talk to you guys when I have another update.
If not new orders to murder me. From Cardin. Your friends won't like it.
Hello everybody, I have some major reading updates for you guys. So I am on page 346. I have about like 15 minutes left of the book according to the audiobook. And yeah, I'm really liking this. I want this to be a spoiler-free vlog, so I can't say much about what's going on with the plot, but I am remembering a lot of stuff that's happening, and I think this book is a great example of setting a fantasy series up for success. And I feel like this is really setting up the rest of the series and like what's to come very well. And there's even some foreshadowing moments in this book that I didn't even catch until now. Obviously, like my second reread, I couldn't really call that foreshadowing until like I know like what's happened. I'm like, okay, I see you, Holly Black. And yeah, I really like every single character in this book. We're now to the point where Cardin and Jude they're on speaking terms and they're not like bashing each other. I mean, there's still like some animosity with them because obviously Cardin spent so long bullying Jude and well his friends bullying Jude and him like joining in, so she has a hard time like accepting Cardin and like being okay with Cardin because of that. And I mean, who wouldn't? And yeah, and the whole storyline with the sister and a certain character in here that showed interest in Miss Jude has happened, and I just feel so bad for her because like that, like when that happens to you, you feel kind of embarrassed in a way. Like you kind of had that thought run through your head like, I really thought like this could be a thing. Like I thought, but why did I think that? Like what? So I don't know, some things were explained, and yeah, that's basically where I'm at with that. So I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna pick up The Wicked King. But now I'm gonna have a little bedtime treat, my sweet treat. Father's Day was yesterday, so my mom got a cookie cake for Father's Day, and I love cookie cake, so I have a slice that I'm gonna have and some water. Everyone drink your water. So I'm gonna finish this book and I will see you guys when I'm done. I'm officially done, and I forgot the little twist at the end. I don't know how I forgot that, but I forgot that part. And yeah, it was good. Like of course the first time reading it was better because I didn't know any of this, and obviously I didn't know what the second name of the book was, so I didn't know, like, yeah, I feel like first time I think I gave it a 5-star because it was just so good, and I haven't read anything like this. I read this before and I haven't read anything like this. Obviously the last like Fae book I read was ACOTAR, and I read ACOTAR like years ago when it was coming out, and so ACOTAR and this is very different. Like you can't compare them. So reading something like this was just so different, and I loved it so much, and I want more books like this. If you guys have anything else that's like kind of like this, I would love the Rex. But I really loved it, and I am so happy I get to dig into the second book right away. So I'm gonna take a few minutes, chill, and I'm gonna start this book when I hop into bed, but I will see you guys when I have a reading update. I have some updates for you guys for The Wicked King. I listened to this all day at work and I ended up listening to over half of it. I'm now probably like a quarter of the way, or maybe like 30% of the way from the ending, and I forgot how twisty this book is. Like I forgot all the twists and turns that happened with this book, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This book is so much better than The Cruel Prince because it's got so much more in it, and I think because you already know the world and the characters from The Cruel Cruel Prince and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go into it. And I feel like the plot grows more. And yeah, and we get to see more of Jude and Carden together and their relationship kind of grow and blossom into what it is going to be. And I don't think that's a spoiler because this is marketed as the enemies to lovers. And this is a true enemies to lovers because we're almost like done with the second book and they're not lovers yet. I mean, they've had a few like moments and I think both of them are coming to the realization that they do like each other, but I think both of them are fighting because here's this mortal girl that fairies like hate mortals and don't want anything to do with mortals and they look down on mortals, but Carden is having all these feelings for her and I think he's struggling with that. And then you have Jude on the other hand who's struggling with having these feelings for this person that's been so awful towards her and she's coming to terms with that. I think also Jude is also struggling with loving Maddox, who is the guy, like her father, who killed her real father, and she's like, despite that, I still love him. So I think she's kind of struggling with that too and trying to figure that whole thing out. And she's trying to figure out how to like become into herself and trying to belong while trying to like kind of pull the puppet strings but act like she's not and not give it away. And there's just so much things that's on her plate, like, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really tell you guys where I'm at in the story without spoiling it, so very sorry, but let's just say I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I'm reading this very quickly. The audiobooks read very fast, especially when you're working all day long. So I can't believe we're almost done with this book and then have this book to go and then we're done with this video. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't think I could do this within a week, but I forgot I had them on audio, so I can do it. If I was reading them physically, absolutely not, especially with working. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to update you guys with. I'll probably talk to you guys when I finish this book, so I'll see y'all then. Hi guys, I wanted to pop in and give some reading updates. So I have now finished The Wicked King, which is the second book in the Cruel Prince trilogy, and I forgot how this book ended and everything that happens in the book and all the twists in this book, and I really liked it. I do wish I could read this for the first time again because now seeing it for the second time, it's a fun series so far, it really is, but I don't think it's like the best fantasy series out there, but it is a fun time. I feel like this is a good series to get into if you're not sure about fantasy and you don't really want to go into like a romantasy, but you still do want that like kind of romance element to it. I feel like this is a great series because the romance isn't heavy and it's kind of just like, it's not even a real romance because it's enemies to lovers. For some reason in my brain I thought like it was a romance heavy book, and I don't know why I thought that because it's not at all, but that's, you know, what I would say. I don't know what to say other than like I liked it. And then I started listening to The Queen of Nothing today at work and I got 80 pages in, and then I had some floor time and read about 10 pages. And this book is very much focused on Jude so far and how she is getting along in life after what happened in The Wicked King and how she's dealing with it and coming to terms with it and kind of like getting back in her life. And you know, she has been betrayed by some people closest to her and she's had a lot of stuff happen. She's kind of had her heart like ripped out and stomped on, and she's just dealing with it, and still while trying to prepare a certain someone for the crown, and just kind of, I think, trying to ignore what happened and trying to move on from it. And that's all I'm going to say about this. I've just been reading The Queen of Nothing, and I wanted to mention a couple things that I think I can mention without giving anything too spoilery. So something big was revealed in the beginning of this book that I completely forgot to touch on, and I completely forgot happened in this book. Like I forgot that that was like a main point in the book as to why Jude does the thing she does. And also we get to see Maddox in a different light. He's much more, not that I'm saying he's softening because he is kind of a hard shell of a character, but you see him in a different light towards Jude, but she's not Jude, if that makes sense, without giving anything away. If you know, you know. And you get to see him in a different light, and he's sitting there being like, it's my fault that this has happened to you, let me bear the weight and in his own kind of way, I think, apologizing for what he did. Because if you guys don't remember, Maddox killed Jude, Taryn, and Vivi's parents. Maddox is Vivian's birth dad, and that's it. So Vivian, Taryn, and Jude all share a mom, but Taryn and Jude, who are the twins, share a mom and a dad. So Maddox killed their parents right in front of their eyes when they were little. So this whole time, keep that in the back of your head is what I'm trying to do. And you see them, all three of them, kind of struggle in different ways on coming to terms with that, kind of, and their own journey to kind of loving Maddox in a way that they thought they probably could never, but they do love him because, you know, you spend so much time with someone. I think Vivian is the only one that's kind of not really accepted him just by her actions. Jude, I think, is the one that like truly, like, she said time and time again, like, she cannot help but love him. She doesn't want to, but she cannot help it. And then I think they're both similar, Jude and Maddox. And Taryn, we don't really get to see a lot of Taryn and Maddox together, so I don't really know. But I think Taryn just wants to do right by Maddox and be like the perfect daughter and like do everything that she's told. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to touch on. I'm on chapter 11, so I'm gonna keep reading. Hopefully I won't fall asleep, because the last couple nights, actually all week, I've been falling asleep like right at 9 or before 9, and I don't know why. So that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Hi friends. So we are gonna finish the Queen of Nothing together. I have literally like this much left and we're gonna finish it. I am stressed about where I'm at in the book. I forgot how this series ended. I forgot this twist that happened. I forgot it all. And the hint is even on the front cover and I just forgot about it. I always forget why there's a snake on this cover, and now I'm remembering. But I'm stressed. I'm like, how is this gonna play out? I don't remember any of this, and I can't even imagine how I was feeling like when I first read this series. Like, I must have not been feeling the stress like I am now, but I'm feeling stressed. And we're just gonna crack on with it because I really wanna read it. Oh, I listened to the majority of this book at work today, per usual. These audiobooks go by super fast. In case you want to listen to the audiobooks, like, you can see I clearly have easily read all 3 of them within the span of like, what, 5 days? So very easy to binge, but let's get to reading. I have now officially finished The Queen of Nothing and the trilogy of The Cruel Prince. And overall, I do think it's a really stunning YA fantasy series. Like, I think if you're just now stepping into fantasy, I think it's a great series because it has that political element. So you get used to politics of the fantasy realm. You get used to like the world building, like characters. Like, I do think it's a very good series. I think it's like a solid 3-star series for me. There are a couple things that like I wish was fleshed out a little bit more. So the enemies to lovers in here is done really well because they don't really admit to really liking each other until the 3rd book. I mean, they kind of tiptoe around the idea and you can kind of tell like they possibly like each other, but they don't really admit to it. But I kind of just wish we spent more time with them, especially in this 3rd book, and kind of as readers building that connection that they supposedly have with them. And I think that would have done wonders for this. And I think it also would have done wonders if the ending scene of the conclusion of how Jude beats this big twist that happens in the story, I wish that lasted a little longer, because it was kind of like, oh, she did this thing and oh, yep, it all is solved. And you know, and I wish there was just more, because that kind of felt rushed. The other thing I didn't really like about this book is the epilogue. Okay, the epilogue is over 10 pages long, and I feel like it was just there to give everyone who was in the story, who we saw throughout the story, a place in the realm and to give them a job and kind of tie up their stories, which I get, but I wish that wasn't the epilogue. Like, I wish maybe that was like in the story, and then the epilogue was the last chapter we got, because the way the last chapter ended I think was perfect way to the story. And in this case, usually I like epilogues, but I didn't like this epilogue. I skimmed a lot of it because I was just bored. It was very boring to me. I didn't really care like what happened to everyone, because in my mind like it was over with the last chapter, and that never happened. So yeah, those are all my thoughts and my feelings on the Cruel Prince trilogy. And like I said, I think it's a 3-star series for me, and I encourage you to pick the series up if you haven't yet, because I'm reminded of why I actually really liked this series to begin with. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me for reading a fantasy series in a week, and I hope you guys will stick around and subscribe, because I would love to have you here. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others around you, and I will see you guys very, very soon. My mom is calling me. Goodbye.